Hello my friends and welcome back to our lessons from EnglishLime. So what are we going to talk about today? About modal verbs. So we continue our lessons about modal verbs. Previous lessons we talked about the modal verb can. So today we will talk about the modal verb must. Must. So this modal verb has positive form and negative form. Let me write it for you. So positive plus and negative minus. So the first, let me write some examples about positive with positive modal verb must, so you can understand better from the examples. The first one, you must listen to your parents. You must listen to your parents. Okay, so here we have pronoun you, which is subject, right? The modal verb must, and then our main verb listen to, right? So there is nothing between these two verbs. You must listen, and the end of the sentence, to your parents, to your teacher, to your brother, and so on. The example number 2. You must see a doctor. You look terrible. You must see a doctor. You look terrible. For example, your friend says to you, you are ill, and he says, oh my God, you look so terrible. You must see a doctor. Again, we have subject, modal verb, and the main verb. You must see. So do you feel from this sentence that it's kind of advice, but it's not simple advice, it's a strong advice. So let me write it for you. So must. This is a strong advice. Let me put it here. Strong advice, right? So it's about something that is very important. Something is very important. Yeah? So it's not just go to the doctor. It's a strong advice. You must see a doctor. It's very important because you look very bad. You look terrible, right? So now let's talk about the negative form. How we make negative? We make it with the modal verb must plus not. And we say and write it like mustn't. For example, the example sentence, you mustn't touch paintings in the museum. So let me put like that. You mustn't touch paintings in the museum. You can put an exclamatory mark here, so to make it stronger. So here you can see it's like a rule. It's forbidden. You mustn't touch, right? Rule. But it's negative advice, strong advice. Again, we have subject here, You mustn't. Negative form of the modal verb must, and touch our main verb. And then you finish your sentence. You mustn't touch paintings in the museum. Strong advice, kind of a rule. Because when it's negative, it's stronger. Alright? Now the example sentence number 2. You mustn't be late. Let me write. You mustn't be late. Again, you can put just the dot or the exclamatory mark, so you can feel that it's stronger like that. So again, we have you mustn't and the main verb be. You mustn't be late. Strong advice. You mustn't be late to school, to the lesson, to the meeting, to work, and so on, right? You can say this sentence, if you are a manager, you can say it to your employees, or if you are mother or father, you can say it to your children, right? Or to your friends. You mustn't be late. Alright, so you see here some examples about strong advice using the modal verb must. So what about the interrogative sentences? Questions. We know that to make a question, you have to move the modal verb in front, right? Do you remember? You can sing. Can you sing? But here with the modal verb must, we can't do it. For example, the sentence like, must you listen? In short, you must listen. Must you listen? It's a mistake. We can't ask like that. We can't ask question using the modal verb must. So in the next level, I will explain to you this subject in a more specific and detailed way, all right? So we don't make questions with a must at the beginning, all right? So, well, now I want to tell you something like extra. In these sentences, you also can change the pronoun. You don't say always you. You can say, you can change the pronoun you with the pronoun I. So instead of you can say I. And you will talk about something that is very important to you. For example, let me write the sentence. I will clean it. I must learn English because I want to travel and speak in English. Alright? Let me write. I must learn English. You can stop here or you can continue because I want to travel and speak it or speak in English. Right? So, you talk about yourself. It's kind of an advice to yourself, but you talk about things that are very important to you. So, it's very important to me. I must learn English, right? So again, you have subject, which is you, I, must modal verb, and the main verb learn. Nothing is between these two verbs. I must learn English because here again you have subject and the main verb I want, because I want to travel and speak in English, and I want to speak. I wrote it to here, so here we don't use it 2 times. All right? So And the next one, for example, I must study hard because I have an exam next week. Let me write it. I must study hard because I have an exam next week. I must study hard because I have an exam next week. Again, it's very easy. You see the subject, modal verb, and the main verb. I hope you remember the construction of the basic sentence. And here you have subject and the main verb, right? This is the basic structure. Plus, if you have modal verb, it comes before the main verb. So, now, my friends, you can look at these examples and make your sentences about what is important to you, right? What can you say that you must do? I must learn English. I must finish this project. I must go to the hospital, right? Because it's very important. So you can talk about things that are very important to you. Or if you want to give strong advice, you say you and talk to someone, right? So look at the board, make your sentences and try to pronounce them, speak them, repeat and repeat, all right? So that is all for today about modal verb must. And I hope to see you in our next lessons, and we will continue modal verbs. So, thank you and take care.